everyone, I'm Jerusha and you're watching Jerusha Couture TV. I'm pretty excited for today's video because you guys loved first? You loved my video I did on my first impressions on my Louis Vuitton Nano Speedy bag and it got, I'm trying to find it, it's down there. It got rave reviews and a lot of you wrote to me and were just like, that was really helpful, or just what I was saying, it's so good to hear someone's like first impressions like straight away. I know I'm like at the end of the video, I'm like, these quick videos, and it was like 25 minutes long. I'm gonna try and keep these under 15 minutes, but I like these informative videos to just put on and then I do the washing and I listen to them. So yeah, let's aim for 15 minutes. Today's first impressions video, as you can see by the title, is on this bag. It is on this bag, but you will also see in the title that it states why I'm selling it. Let's go over it. This is the huge box that the Chanel Deville tote, the large size, comes in. It's huge, it really is. It might not look massive on camera, but it is. My SA Ellen helped me to the car, like full chauffeur to, like concierge to the car to help me out. Here is the matching ginormous dust bag that comes with it as well. Reminds me a lot of the GST dust bag because it's like an upright dust bag. And then inside we have the stunning Chanel Deville tote. Okay, I'll keep it in shot like that. This is the infamous Deville tote that Chanel do. Essentially, Deville, the beaches of Deville in France, it's where Coco Mademoiselle used to love going and spending her beach holidays. So she designed a beach tote bag to go with it. So that's like the vibe that's given, even though I think Ellen said it's a rev piece, so it returns in collections, like it's not just cruise. That is the story behind the bag. So it's meant to be this more relaxed kind of vibe, beach vibe. It's got the large beautiful print on the front, and they do it, you know, in the cruise collections, they do it in the pastels and things like that. It's really, really beautiful. I had not found a Deville that I had really vibed with until I saw Nadia. She's in the luxe community too. Hi babe. Nadia unbox hers and it was, sorry, this model from the Métier d'Art collection this year, from the Egyptian Métier d'Art Egyptian inspired collection that was the Paris, New York. And I saw her unbox it and I was like, that's it. If I'm gonna get a Deville tote, new or used, I'm on a new streak. You knew that I was on a Chanel new streak from the boutique. Very expensive run, but I fell in love with it. I was like, this is the one I would get. There is something about this lurex, the fabric is lurex, that I just really resonated with. I loved how it was smooth, flat and soft. Let's delve straight into it because there's a lot to go over. We'll start up with the pros, shall we? Start off on the good foot. First pro, it's Chanel. It's a Chanel handbag, guys. It's a pro, no matter what, period. If you own a Chanel bag, it's the feeling, it's the like zest, it's the energy it gives you. It's amazing. It is a very statement Chanel bag. You have the large, you know, Chanel, you then have the interlocking CC logo here, and then you have the first flagship store, 31 Rue Cambon, Paris, the address on the bottom. This is such a statement for this bag. That's firstly a pro. Whether you like it or not, don't buy the bag, or you can wear it backwards. Why you would do that, I don't know, but clearly you're buying it because it's a Chanel bag. The next pro, I think, is the size. You are buying this size knowing that you're going into a larger bag, a GM never full, an MM never full sized bag. This bag is gonna, you know, hold a lot of stuff for you. So putting it into a category in your collection I think is great, because you just instantly know it's a good size bag that's gonna hold a lot of your items. Another great pro I feel is hardware. This bag is one of those bags that I talked about. I talked about it in the unboxing of this bag and my little camera bag here. And the trendy is that this is one of those bags that Chanel does where they really pay attention to detail. So all of these grommets here are engraved with 31 Rue Cambon, Paris there. So the same address here is like around the grommets. Like, it's beautiful attention to detail. It is, this collection of the Métier d'Art is the shiny gold hardware. Whether they used matte or ruthenium or like brushed hardware before, I'm not quite sure, but this is so shiny, it's so substantial. When I pull the chains out, you'll see like it's so beautiful. So like it really is beautiful, beautiful hardware. So that's a pro, like you get a lot of hardware in the bag, if that makes sense. However, take note on the hardware comment. Last pro, see, not very many pros. The last pro is that it is a two-way bag. Who doesn't love a two-way bag? Everybody, correct. That top handle comes so in handy. It is another pro, I didn't put it here, but it's another pro that the top handle is leather, so it wears well. So these two top leather handles, you just can grab and go, and it's a perfect, you know, perfect carry tote bag. I actually carried it when I did carry it, which was definitely less than a handful of times, maybe 3 times I carried this bag. I would grab it by the top handles the most. And then, as I said, I'll pull them out. You have the 2 shoulder chains. So the fact that this is a two-way bag is definitely a pro. Okay, moving on to cons, shall we? This is the long list. Obviously, you can see at the end it says why I'm selling it. This list adds up to why I am parting with this bag and letting it go. And a lot of you actually called it earlier. If you watched my Vlogtober, I mentioned it in a vlog that I didn't know how I feel. And the anxiety of owning it was overtaking the love for it. Something to note, if you've got a lot of anxiety towards a handbag, a luxury handbag that has cost a lot of money, if it is outweighing the love for it and the joy it's meant to bring you, then it's probably time to rehome it, because that's just not what this is about. You know, you're meant to feel, you know, energized by these and really love the fashion behind it and love using it. Whereas if you kind of, it's not about not even wanting to use it, just like it gives you so much anxiety, that is not a good thing. Firstly, it is a heavy bag. It is heavy. And I mean that in the sense of course, all bags aren't light as such, but it's heavy to begin with. And once you start filling it, it's even heavier, and it holds its weight in kind of, unless you have a bag organizer, which I'll show you in a second, it holds its weight kind of in a central heaviness. So it's very centrally heavy, if that makes sense. What adds to that is the hardware. So that is a pro and a con. Okay, yes, beautiful, beautiful hardware, gorgeous, shiny chains, amazing. However, they are really heavy. They are big, they are heavy, they whack on a few things. I was carrying it by hand and I turned and I smacked my car and it actually kind of made like a little dent. I didn't tell my husband, but it did. They are heavy, heavy chains. So that adds to the weight of the bag. Then you put items inside of it. I have a bag organizer, so you're just loading it all in. And on top of that, it is not structurally supportive of that weight. This is a fabric lined bag, which I don't mind. I don't mind fabric lined bag. A lot of people tend to prefer, for the price, full leather lined. But this is a fabric lined bag and a fabric bag. So with no bag organizer, that is it. A brand new bag that is it. That is me just placing it down, no bag organizer, brand new. So this is with no wear and tear, you know, not 5 years down the track of owning it. This is how slouchy it is. Did I know that going into it? Of course I did. Did I know I was going to get a bag organizer from Smorga? Yes, I did. I knew I was going to buy one to match. But in my heart of hearts, the wear over the years is just going to be like too much. It's too much anxiety. So with that being said, that is my number one, is that it is a fabric bag. At the end of the day, that is what it is. This is the Lurex version, which came in this year. The other versions that were done, yes, there is a leather version of this. Would I consider it? Probably not now, because I know the weight. I know the weight in a fabric bag, so it will be even heavier in the leather version. However, it's quite functional. Other versions, I think, is just the raffia, and that does the same thing, and over time they just don't wear well. Like, they just don't. If you look at them on the pre-love market, and these things sell like crazy, okay? They just fly off the pre-love sites straight away because they're probably good to get them at kind of a pre-love deal if they've worn well, but you can see some that are just beaten, okay, you know? So if you don't take care of your bag, and I'm not saying I'm going to beat it around and not take care of it, I just don't want that on my shoulders. Does that make sense? For the price tag. So a pro is the layout inside. Definitely, I think it's a great layout. It reminds me of the GST. You get your little key hook on the leather there, so you can automatically, so you can find a key really easily if it's automatic, or your wallet. You have a large back zipper compartment and then a big open space. You have flat compartments on this side that you can just put little items in if you wanted to. That is definitely a pro. The rest is pretty much involved with this fabric. Snagging. I don't know if the raffia snags as well, but this baby snags. I don't know if you can see, but I have like a little bit of like snagging here. And when I saw that, I was just like, what? No, this is just not an option. No. A Louis Vuitton shawl can snag, that's fine, for $600-700, but a 4,000, was it 4,200? 4,500? Around that is the price of this bag. No way, no bueno, no snagging is to happen. I also feel like another con was lint, especially with this darker color. Like, I just don't want it to look old at all. So lint with the fabric pickup, especially on the Lurex. This was a con, and it happened about two of the 3 or 4 times I wore it, fading. I was so meticulously like freaking out. I had it sitting on the side. I had it sitting in my passenger seat of my car, and the sun was streaming in, and I was like, oh my god, what if it starts to fade because the sun's hitting it and it's fabric, you know, it's dark fabric. So scared. The con is, obviously, is a full fabric bag. It doesn't have feet. Feet could have been a nice option, especially for where this bag sits. I know it's a bigger Chanel bag, so its price range is fairly okay. It's the same price range as a mini flap, a classic mini flap. But just 4 feet would have been nice. You know, then you don't have to worry about, you know, any of the fabric sort of changing or wearing or scuffing or fading. That was another con. And the last con, and this is a little bit like OCD meticulous, but I started to freak out about smells. And the fact that my family, my in-laws own restaurants, I was like an Italian, I was like, oh my god, it's gonna smell like pizza. I can't, like, I left it in the car so many times in case it would smell like pizza. So that is it. That is my pros and cons list. Why I am selling it, you can clearly see my cons, and my just being neurotic about it is not enjoyable, you know, it's not. So rehoming it is a much better idea. Yeah, this is me holding it with my hand, and you know, good size, This is actually, I feel like, such better size bags for me because I am taller and curvier. So chain, perfect, sits on the shoulder, the straps don't fall off, that's not a con. I think that they're fine, and you could also put it in the crook of your arm. I'll show you my Samorga bag organizer for it. Obviously fits perfectly in there, is exactly the same color. I am so happy. I never worry if I am moving a bag on that I have an organizer for it. What do? I just reuse them in other bags. I don't care that they don't color match. It's totally fine. But my final thoughts in conclusion, I know I didn't do that on my Nano. I'm like, my first impressions, and I didn't tell you. My first impressions of this bag is it is stunning. I got a lot of compliments. It's clearly Chanel. It is a statement bag. If you are a tote bag girl and you can handle this kind of weight and just large, you know, size and throwing things in, and you're cool with it, then this is a bag for you. If you are easygoing with your bags and don't freak out over every little detail, which a lot of us in the luxe do because it's like, it's what we do, we're enthusiasts, you know, then it's a bag for you. I think that as an easygoing bag goes, rather than worrying about, you know, a double flap or things like that, because you're not up in that price bracket, it's nice. I'm saying I worry about it. But if you come in at this price, it's a nice price for Chanel to not freak out about. Does that make sense? Rather than $8,000, $9,000 on a jumbo and freaking out about everything, this is a better price to kind of swallow. So thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video, guys. If you are enjoying these first impressions, please go ahead and give me a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to my channel and you wish to do so, that would be great. There is a button below, guys. I will see you in my next video. Take care. Peace.